What's up, guys? I welcome you in this wonderful video. So today there is something interesting that I want to share with you. We know that we always encourage each other to trade with the trend and never to trade against it. So in this video, I just want to give you simple tips and if I may say, a simple strategy that you can use to trade against the trend, meaning to be able to take advantage of the corrective waves. Now, for example, in this case, where the market is moving up, you should be able to take advantage of these downward waves or these corrective waves where the market was going the opposite side or against the trend. So without any waste of time, let us just get started. So here we are on my chart. Let me just erase those two lines. So what you need to pay attention into as a trader before you can enter your trade, this is what matters the most. It is to make sure that the impulsive wave, meaning in this case the wave that is going up, I'm going to indicate this one and this one. It is to make sure that firstly the impulsive wave is ripe, meaning it has matured, which means that it is likely to go on the opposite side or it is likely to reverse. And then how do you always see that the impulsive wave is matured? So let me just zoom a little bit in. So here we are. Let's make an example with the first one. So I'm just gonna draw a line. Note that I'm just gonna draw a line and move it all the way up there. And if you may see how long this line is, or the length of this line, then you should be able, if you see another impulsive wave, the impulsive wave should be almost the same size as this one or a little bit bigger, not that much small or not that much not that much small. It can be bigger, but it should be almost at the size of that one. So if you put this one here, you can see that this impulsive wave is almost the size of the previous one. So meaning you don't have to mistaken these, let me just draw, you don't have to mistaken these as the complete impulsive wave, because it is so small compared to the previous one. And yes, when it comes to momentum, I always teach about waves changing sizes due to the change of strength. However, when you see a wave like this coming in, if there isn't any sign of a reversal, then you shouldn't mistaken it as an impulsive wave. It's likely just a part of the impulsive wave. It doesn't mean that the impulsive is complete. So the impulsive wave is usually likely the same size or slightly bigger or slightly smaller than the previous one. That where the theory of trend trading comes in, because the way the market flows in the trend, it flows in a form of a repetitive pattern, or the size of the wave becomes almost the same in every cycle. So that's what you should keep in mind. So never mistaken a simple small waves as a complete impulsive. You should pay attention into that. And you need to know that for us to receive maybe some kind of a small impulsive, it can happen all of a sudden. It will happen step by step. For an example, let me draw here. Let's say you have a bigger impulsive, and then what would happen is that you won't just have a small impulsive like that and then the market goes down. No, what will happen is that you have a bigger impulsive and then it will become a little bit smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then the market will reverse. It won't just happen all of a sudden that you will have a smaller wave which will just indicate a reversal. It doesn't happen like that in most of the cases. So once you identify that the waves is the impulsive wave is now matured, it is important for you as a trader to pay attention on what is happening on the high. Let me just erase the previous things. So it is important for you to pay attention on what is happening on the highs of that particular impulsive wave. And how are you gonna know if it's a high? You're gonna know by having some form of a transition taking place, and transition or a consolidation, whatever you may call it, or just a small range where the market moves sideways. Usually when it comes to an impulsive changing into a corrective wave, we have two scenarios. We have a scenario where it will just go up and then go down. We have a scenario where it will go up and then transition and then go down. So I always advise traders to stay away from such things and pay attention into such. Why? Because it's very impossible to get an opportunity where the market is behaving in a V shape or in a just some kind of an instant move. For example, in this case, although you were gonna get an opportunity just because you pay attention into that high, but if you didn't have that high there, how would you know if the market is gonna go down? So there wasn't any form of a transition. Even there, it was impossible for a trader to figure out that sell. Why? Because there wasn't any form of a transition. You couldn't see when the buyers were handing over to the sellers. So once you observe a transition is a clear sign that the market is gonna correct, because it means that now the sellers, they are slowing down. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about a transition. I'm talking about something which haven't happened in the impulsive wave previously. Let me just elaborate on that point, because it's hard to always make points straight in English. You have to elaborate. So let me elaborate that point. What I mean about that is that for us to say this in transition, you need to know that previously we didn't have something like this. We just had just a small correction and then that impulsive inside the bigger impulsive. But now we didn't have that same thing like that. We have now a market moving horizontal and persisting. Same thing applied here. We had just an impulsive, then a small corrective, and an impulsive again. But here we have now the market persisting, even forming some kind of a double top, giving you some kind of a double top, which is a sign that now the buyers, they are not able to do what they were doing previously, meaning pushing the market up from that smaller corrective, which means this is a signal enough to tell you that, okay, a corrective wave is gonna come. So then how should you take advantage of these scenarios? That's where you need to trade with a breakout. You have to keep this in mind. Make sure that you trade with only one thing, and that one thing should be a breakout of this transition that I'm indicating here. Meaning you'll only be able to sell in these areas. You'll be able to sell in these areas. Never make a mistake of selling up there. Even if you see that it's giving you a double top, never take that as a sell, because you are not sure if it's gonna break and go down, or it's still gonna persist and all of a sudden break all the way on the upper side. So pay attention into that. Let me just try to find something that's gonna back me up. Let's make an example with the inverse side. Let's say here you observe the market going down and you see in transition, you think that no, because there's a transition, it's gonna go all the way up. No, it didn't go all the way up, but unfortunately it went all the way down. Meaning a trader who couldn't wait for a breakout was gonna start to buy here. Was gonna start to buy on the bottom, either this one or that one or that one. I was gonna buy here, and the market all of a sudden beat him. But you should make sure that you wait for a breakout, because even if you wait for a breakout, it means that now you have double opportunities. You can either get when it breaks on the upper side, or you can get when it continues with the initial trend. Because even when it comes to corrective waves, we can have horizontal correctives. So meaning the market is moving up, it corrects, continue to move up, it corrects, continue to move up. We can have such horizontal correctives. So make sure that you don't always mistake this corrective as some kind of reversal signals. Make sure you pay attention into that. So I'm just gonna leave it here to just make this video a little bit short so that you can absorb everything. But I've just mentioned everything that I wanted to mention about this method. So make sure that you observe such and take advantage of it. Make sure that you take advantage of it when you want to trade against the trend. It's a very, very good method which indicates a reversal that is coming in. So thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.